and welcome to the MudRoom, our weekly free and live uncommon sense parenting class. How is everybody doing this evening? I don't know for you, but last week felt super busy, but it wasn't really. I think it's just a matter of everybody here. What's going on? Okay, I'm not sure what's going on, but it's fine. I think everybody's just been falling into routines finally. I feel like I'm finally figuring out how to get stuff done with everyone home all the time. And you may have noticed there's a little bit of a change back here. Facebook was throttling my videos because there was too much text in the frame. So unfortunately, my beloved "It used to take a village, now it takes a posse" slogan had to go. So if you have any ideas of what I could replace it with, it's not a huge space. It's only about 3 feet. But it looks so boring. It looks so boring. So yeah, if you have any ideas, hit me with your best shot. Before we get going this evening, hi, I'm Allana Robinson, and I'm a parenting coach for parents of toddlers, preschoolers, and kindergartners. I help you understand why your children are misbehaving and how to fix it without yelling, shaming, or timeouts. If you're watching live, say hi, let me know that you're here. If you're catching this on the replay, throw a replay in the comments. Feel free to comment and chat as we go along. Let me know how you're doing. I am genuinely curious, and if you aren't a member of the Parenting Posse yet, I invite you to join us so that we can continue tonight's conversation over there. So today I wanted to chat about something that I've discussed before, but I think in the context of now, it bears revising. Oh shoot. What is going on? Okay, I don't know. My computer's being really weird today. It keeps giving me all these errors, but it doesn't seem to be interrupting. Facebook's overloaded, guys. I don't know what to tell you. So yeah, I've noticed a trend lately, and this is probably because everybody is so overwhelmed and cabin fevered, and it's this hyper focus on solving very small problems. I call them micro problems. And what I mean by micro problems is super specific issues. And this creates a problem because when we focus down on super small specific issues, we miss the bigger picture. We get so focused on what's happening here that we miss all of the context. And the context is what makes behavior make sense. Behavior is communication. It doesn't happen in a vacuum. And when we focus on those micro problems, when we get all caught up in what our child can't do, and we lose sight of the context, we tend to start spinning our wheels because we're missing a lot of vital information. We go down these rabbit holes of assuming what the behavior was trying to communicate. And you know what they say about what happens when you assume. You make an ass out of you and me. I get why this happens though, especially right now, because we're with our kids all the damn time. So those micro problems keep slapping us in the face. They're everywhere we look. So we get caught up trying to put out all these tiny fires instead of standing back and realizing that they're actually one big blaze. And there are 2 questions that I've used my entire career to get out of this habit. It happens to everybody. Nobody is immune to it. Even when I was doing early intervention, every single child that I worked with had a goal on a legal document that failed to remember these 2 things. And usually when a child I was working with wasn't making progress toward their goal, it turned out that just the act of rewriting the goal with these 2 questions in mind would change how we were working towards meeting that goal. And then of course the child would start making progress again. It wasn't that rewriting the goal was magical. There's no like voodoo magic here, but it changed how everybody was approaching working on that goal. And these questions keep what's important and the bigger picture in mind. And now we use them in parentability. So those 2 questions are, 1, what don't they know how to do? And 2, how are you teaching them to do that? They sound like simple questions, right? But let's pull an example from the posse. So a member posted recently looking for suggestions on how to deal with her 5-year-old who was being exceptionally mean and aggressive towards his younger sibling. So what does that child not know how to do? And yes, the answer is be nice to his brother, but let's go deeper than that. That's the problem up close. I want you to step back and look at the bigger picture. What don't they know how to do? What's involved in being nice? What skills are missing? Are they lacking impulse control? Are they lacking emotional control? Is it a self-monitoring issue? Is it not that they have weak skills at all, but that they can't access their skills because something about playing with his brother, be it the game, the environment, lack of consent, mismatch in play stages, is causing him to become dysregulated? Break it down, drill deeper. What's the problem? What's the actual issue? And it can be all of those things. I mean, very rarely do children wrap their behavioral problems up for us in a nice package with a bow on top just so that we can unwrap it and be like, impulse control, nice and clean cut. It might be any combination of skills. Do they not know how to share? Do they not understand turn taking? Are they having difficulty setting firm boundaries? Figure out what the problem is. That's step 1. And we do that by observing them and by taking notes. Take videos. Take pictures. We're so focused on being super mom that we're going in guns blazing and like, I'm going to fix this, but you can't fix something when you haven't defined the problem. That's like taking your car into the mechanic and being like, there's a banging noise in the rear, and then them giving you a quote to fix it when they haven't heard the bang, they haven't looked under the car, they haven't tried to figure out where the bang is coming from. Banging in the rear? That's $900, please. Like, that would be ridiculous, wouldn't it? So it's very easy for me to say, what don't they know how to do? But the answer isn't usually easy or quick. And the second question was, and how are we teaching them to do that? And again, that sounds easy, but I'd usually get very simplistic answers. If a child is being aggressive towards their sibling, I'd usually get like, okay, well, we've talked about how that hurts people's feelings. We've put them in a timeout. We've taken away the toy the dispute was over. We've told him we won't allow him to play near his brother if he can't play nice, etc., etc. Can we see the thread that joins all of those things? They're all dealing with the surface problem again. Also, none of those answers actually answered my question of what are we going to teach them how to do to solve the problem. They're all reactions. They're all reminding them about consequences. Not a single one is showing actively what they ought to be doing. They're telling them what not to do, and those two things are not the same. Showing them what to do and telling them what not to do is not the same thing. And don't get me wrong, consequences are important, behavior management is important, but it's not enough. It just isn't enough. You can manage those surface problems till you are blue in the face, and it's still going to reoccur because you didn't solve the problem. You didn't fix the issues down there that's causing the surface issue. Think of it like a boiling pot. The bubbles on the surface are a symptom of the fact that the burner is on. And you can scoop bubbles off the top and pour ice water in till the cows come home, but it's going to eventually start to boil again because you didn't actually solve the problem and turn the burner off. And I still use these two questions with my clients today because, as I said, it's really easy to get snared in that trap of forgetting to look at a behavior in context, of not looking at the actual problem, of looking at an aspect of the problem, or of assuming you know what the problem is based on fragments of information that you have. If you can do these two things, figure out what the problem is, and then teach them how to solve the problem, you're golden. You're flying right. So I want all of us, and it's a habit that we need to develop, and it's one that's easy to fall out of when you're tired and stressed and rushed, and basically being a mother under the best of circumstances, let alone a mother in quarantine. But I want us all to get in the habit of stepping back and looking at the bigger picture instead of being micro-focused on symptoms. Otherwise, you're going to keep doing this dance, and we're too damn busy to keep putting out the same fire over and over and over again. We're just too damn busy. In order to enjoy our children more, in order to stop burning ourselves out, in order to get off of this hamster wheel, we need to be parenting more efficiently and more effectively. And these two questions, if you can answer them, that's how we do that. So, how do you guys feel about that? Do you think we can get in the habit of asking ourselves those two questions and actually commit to finding out the answers? The questions themselves aren't going to do you any good if you don't commit to digging in and finding out the answers. I'd love to hear what you find out when you do dig in and find those answers, though. Come and continue the conversation in the Parenting Posse with me. Okay, that's it for today. I'm going to see you next week for another Uncommon Sense parenting class. Have a great week. Bye.